Hey guys, it's Jen. I promised that I would stop by again today. And talk about a couple things which I wrote down here. I took off my glasses, so forgive me, I can't see really well. And the reason I took them off is because when they're on, we have glare, and lots of it. See, you can't see me, so I'm going to take them back off. This morning, when I was talking, I mentioned about a mirror incident while I was on vacation. And, I guess what I want to talk about is the delusions that we have in our mind about ourselves, and I'm just going to speak for myself here. I imagine that I'm not the only person who's like this. When I'm walking down the street, or out in public and I can't see myself and whatever, I feel like, for lack of a better way to put it, a normal person. I don't necessarily feel as big as I am. I'm the skinny person stuck inside of my overweight or obese frame. But if I'm not doing something that points that out, if I'm not trying to touch my toes or cross my legs or that sort of thing, then, I feel like a skinny person. And then there's the person that I see in the mirror, which is sometimes shocking. In my home, I have mirrors that are pretty much chest length and up. I have one full-length mirror that is behind my bedroom door, which remains open most of the time. So I don't look in it very often. And that's on purpose. That's self-perseverance, because it causes me problems. Not that I want to deny what is true, but because what I see staring back at me in the mirror probably isn't exactly what is, if you know what I'm saying. So if I'm not looking at myself, I'm not trying to cross my legs, and I'm not trying to touch my toes, I'm a skinny person. If I'm looking in a mirror, I am fat enough that I shouldn't be able to stand up out of bed, or I should have struggles with that. Anyway, so the experience at the hotel was that we had a king-size bed, and on my side of the bed there was a full-length ceiling to floor mirror that covered the closet. So I found myself for a week staring at my own reflection. I found myself, swing my legs over the side of the bed to get out of bed, and I'm staring at my legs that look huge to me, and wondering how the hell this happened. How did this happen to me? How did I allow myself to get to this place? How do I not have enough control over myself to not have found myself at this place? Getting dressed, stand naked in front of a mirror. Who is overweight and purposely stands naked in front of a mirror? I think most of us, I at least, avoid that situation as much as possible, because it's not pleasant. It's not who I see inside of my head as being me. So there's that. Putting on a bathing suit, and I wear board shorts with my bathing suit because that's how I'm comfortable. But let's be real. You're putting on your bathing suit, you stand in front of the mirror and go, oh my God, those are my legs, that's my arms, look at my belly, my God, right? So anyways, I was forced to, look at my own reflection. I found myself even doing it while I was trying to fall asleep. Looking, laying in bed and looking at how high I am under the covers under the bed. If I lay on my back, this is, how much room is between me and my blankets. If I lay on my side, these are my hips that are, here. And, if I lay on my back, then my tummy's here, and, oh, look at my legs, and anyway. frankly, just torturing myself a little bit, and that's the truth of the matter. And probably the reality is somewhere in between those two things. Intellectually, I know that what I see in the mirror is probably worse than what it actually is, and I'm fully aware that I'm not skinny. But I'm also, that delusion in my head that I am, while I'm not doing something that points out the fact that I'm fat. And I'm sure that, my reality is somewhere in between, sorry, I can't get my hands here, in between those two images of myself. So that was a bit of a struggle. It was a bit of a struggle to be faced with both of those realities. If I'm in something that's comfortable, that's not cutting off my circulation, that I'm not self-conscious in, then I feel good. And there are moments when I have tons of energy, and I played soccer with some local kids in Cuba for an hour. I felt like a skinny person doing that until I saw the video and was faced with the actual visual of me doing it, which I don't like. So that's where I'm at right now, and those are the things that I think that throughout this whole journey are going to be my moments of issue, the things that I'm going to have to work on. My brain not being on par with what's necessarily true and real, and I think that's going to be a bit of a struggle for me, especially when I'm looking at myself. I'm looking at myself in the mirror and seeing that delusion of the grandiosity of what I see myself as. So that was the mirror incident. Had a whole week of looking in the mirror, which is probably whatever. It's not bad to do, but it wasn't pleasant. The second thing that I wanted to talk about, and I was talking to Jenni last night, justaphotogirl, who, by the way, I adore. She is honest and forthcoming and emotional and raw, and I love her. She inspires me every day. If I have weak moments, I go to Jenni's page and I take a look at her videos. She's had such struggles, and for every date that I have to wait for, I think in my head that she persevered through a heck of a lot more than I have to. Anyway, she's very inspiring for me. But anyways, I was talking to her last night, and I was talking about saying no. For me, a huge issue. I was raised not to rock the boat, to be polite and to be helpful and to do what I was told and blah blah blah. Anyways, I'm not pointing any fingers. I'm just saying that's how I was raised. So in my adult life, people ask me to do things, and I have a very hard time saying no. And if I am saying no to something, I feel like I have to make up an excuse or justify why I'm saying no. And I'm trying to work on that. And it's usually the people that I'm doing that with, that if I asked them to do something they didn't want to do, they would just say no, no explanation needed. But when that role is reversed and I'm the one saying no, I feel like I have to give them a reason why, and it better be a valid one. As an example, and part of me not saying no and wanting to always be helpful and wanting to always be the rescuer, I'll give you an example of that. There's one currently happening right this moment today. So I got back from my vacation this morning. Before I left on my vacation, we have a new trainee that's starting overnight. He started last night. So I not only agreed but volunteered to work during the day today. So I worked from 6 a.m. until 2 today. And then I'm going back overnight tonight from 11 p.m. until 7:30 tomorrow morning. And I'm doing that for the rest of the week. Now I'm not working during the day any more than today and overnight tonight, but the point is that I don't have a problem doing the overnight shift, but why am I suggesting to work a full day and then an overnight shift on the same day? It just doesn't make any sense. And, you know, nobody would dream of asking anybody else that works in my office to do that. And they probably wouldn't have dreamed to ask me to do that, but I agreed to it. So that's something that I'm working on. I was watching a couple of Jenni's videos last night before we had a little discussion, and she talked a lot about journaling, and I think that I'm going to give it a go. So I went out today and I bought I don't know if you can see it, over here, journal. It's actually kind of nice. It's suede book. So I wanted to get a book, and it's so petty sounding, but I wanted to get a book that felt nice in my hands, that I would want to carry around with me, I would want to have near me, for those moments that, you know, things come up that I want to document, and either to share with you guys or just to work on for myself or what have you. But I wanted a book to do that. So I bought myself a book and a new pen, and I'm going to start that tonight. Over the next week I'm working overnights. I got plenty of time. So I'm going to start doing that, and I wanted to talk about that as well. And last thing I want to talk about, and this is getting a little long, so I'll try to keep it brief, but it goes along with my journey and something that happened. So it's a bit of a trigger for me. So as we have, you know, you guys know, I quit smoking just about 6 months ago in order to take this journey. I knew that I needed to quit smoking or they wouldn't do the surgery. So, and for myself, I didn't want to get healthy and just make myself sick with carcinogens being pumped into my lungs. So when we're on vacation, it's the first vacation that I've gone on as a non-smoker. So as you can imagine, there's, you know, having some drinks and, you know, being around smokers. And I used to sit on the beach and just chain smoke and talk, and, you know, it's real downtime, and it's time that I spent smoking in my, you know, history. So the first day that we were there was a bit of a trigger. We got off the plane, and, you know, if you've ever been a smoker and traveled, you know that the first thing you do when you get off the plane is find a place that you can go light up. So, which my wife promptly did. The first day was a bit of a trigger for me. I felt like a little overwhelmed, a little bit panicky, like, oh my God, how am I going to get through this week without, you know, an overwhelming desire to smoke? And I didn't want to. And then by the second day, I was good. I knew I could do it. I knew that I didn't want to smoke, that the romanticism of it in my head is not real, that, you know, the whole time that I was smoking, I didn't want to be smoking. I just reminded myself of all the reasons why I did not want to pick up a cigarette. And I didn't. However, second last night there, and I'm not about to tell you that I smoked because I didn't, I had a dream. And my dream was that, I'll call it a nightmare. In this dream, while I was sleeping, my wife had a cigarette in an ashtray just burning, and she walked out of the room. And absent-mindedly, I picked it up and I took a drag. And I put it down and I went, shit. And then a couple minutes later, I did the same thing again. And then a couple minutes after that, did the same thing again. I was absent-mindedly smoking in this dream. And I have to tell you, when I woke up, I believed, it was so vivid, I believed that it was true, and that I had picked up a cigarette and I had smoked it. And I was livid with myself. I woke up, I was vilely angry with myself until I realized that it was just a dream. But it took like a half hour. I was beating the snot out of myself for about a half hour, thinking, I can't believe that you just did that. I can't believe that you violated everything that you currently stand for, and that you picked this up, and you just jeopardized your surgery, and you jeopardized, these months that I have not been smoking. I felt like I had jeopardized the whole thing. I was so angry. And then I thought to myself that this is the way that an addict's mind thinks, whether it's about cigarettes or alcohol or drugs or food or whatever, that we beat ourselves up for mistakes. And I was really angry, and I was really beating myself up, and I never did anything wrong. I didn't actually smoke. But in my dream, it was vivid, and I did it, and I was angry, and I was beating myself up. So that's something that I'm going to journal about, because I often do it with food too. If I make a bad choice, and this has been the downfall of so many diets, if I make a bad choice, then I just go, oh, I can't, just give it up. You can't do it. And, start putting myself down and, really being hard on myself about it. So, and that's something that I'm going to have to learn to let go of, and to forgive myself weak moments, and to not fall off track because of that. And it's easier said than done. So, Jenny, thank you for the idea of journaling, because I'm going to start, and that's the first thing that's going to go in here. So, anyways, guys, this is getting really long. I apologize for the rants, but the length of the video. But there were a couple things I really wanted to talk about. So, thank you for bearing with me, and I'll talk to you all in a few days. Oh, one more thing. I got my surgeon's appointment today. Is going to be on April 5th. So I'm going to meet Dr. Penner from Toronto Western Hospital on the 5th of April. So I'm really, really looking forward to that. And I'm hoping for a surgery date before the end of June. Or hopefully before June. Anyway, talk to you all later. Bye.